What's happening, guys? My name is Mike, and this is Let's Talk Comics. Today, we are going to talk about all of these copies of Superman, Spider-Man #1. I told my local comic book shop that I wanted all the ones that they got, so they put me down. Probably in hindsight, not a very wise choice, financial wise, but hey, what are you going to do about it? Besides, I can always turn these back in for store credit if I get tired of them after a while. Now, one thing I will say about this is I noticed that these are $6.99. So I believe the Batman Deadpool ones were $5.99. So we've already seen an increase from the first wave of Marvel DC crossovers to the second wave. So I can only imagine we are headed towards $9.99 at some point. But I got a pretty large stack. I got all the variants that they could pull for me. So I just want to go ahead and run through them right here. On the top right here, we have I believe it's Josh Middleton. I'm not sure of his first name. Pretty solid cover right here. Next one, we have a Daniel Sampry. This is Superboy Prime, and then Black Suit Spider-Man right there. I really like that Black Suit Spider-Man right there. He kind of really captures, like you can look at that Black Suit Spider-Man and it really shows Spider-Man's agility and his speed in that all black right there. So that's a really cool looking Spider-Man. Then the next issue we have here, this one has the Supermobile and the Spider-Mobile. For those of you who do not know, the Superman Mobile was given to him in a Silver Age Superman issue where he was, I can't remember if he was on a mission that was in space or on Earth. Anyway, what it was it was going to he would be exposed to some sort of deadly radiation that he couldn't fight off. So he was given this deal right here by some sort of scientist. And then the Spider-Mobile, in typical Spider-Man fashion, he had signed up to kind of like drive this thing for like endorsement money or something like that. And it was just a big old, cluster of him driving this Spider-Mobile around town, riding up against walls. So I think the Spider-Mobile was only around for maybe an issue or two. The same with the Superman Mobile. It's just funny to see them in these type of vehicles, because like for all intents and purposes, what does Superman need a armored plated spaceship for, And Spider-Man, he can move faster than this dune buggy type thing is. So just kind of a little bit of hilarity and a homage to both of those silly vehicles. And then here we have the David Nakayama variant that's Kingdom Come Superman right there. Now this one here, this is a Scott, I believe it's pronounced Koblish wraparound, and what he is known for is basically doing these really big jam pieces where he shoehorns everybody in there. So I've seen him do these before. I think he did one with the X-Men or G.I. Joe or somebody like that. So a ton of characters here represented. He does a really good job of portraying everybody, getting them in there and not, not cluttering everything up. So it's a really cool job he does right there. I'm trying to remember where I've seen him at, but he doesn't do interiors or anything. He just does like those jam type covers. Then we've got J. Scott Campbell, Supergirl, Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, whatever her name is. Then we have a Art Germ that has Supergirl and Silk. Then we have a Art Adams, kind of a classic Spider-Man and Superman. This looks a little bit more Golden Age Superman. if you'll notice right here, he's got the webs under the armpits. So that's really cool. In fact, I don't think, looking through all the previous ones, Art Adams is the first guy to have the webs under the armpits right here. Then we have Dave Johnson. He has a Spider-Hulk versus the Red Sun Superman. Then we have, not sure who this is off the top of my head, but we've got Superman and Spider-Man have traded off fighting their bad guys. So Superman's going up against Goblin, and then Spider-Man punching Lex Luthor right in the face. You see Lex has got webs all over his face right there. That's a pretty cool touch. We've got Adam Hughes, Spider-Woman, Supergirl. This is like Hot Pants Supergirl right here. So a little bit different than the miniskirt one. Then we have, I don't know who this one is, but it looks like Superman is carrying Spider-Man. I can't really tell. I guess this is supposed to be some sort of bird deal right here, like a pigeon or something. They see Spider-Man and Superman traveling together, and they're kind of like, or is that upside down? No, that is upside down. That's an upside down pigeon. I wonder if you look at it like this, you can see they're traveling through the air, and it really freaks the pigeon out. Then we have, I believe, is this Clayton Crane? We've got looks like Eradicator, Superman, and another black suit, Spider-Man. And both of these look very menacing, very dark. We've got this perspective of looking up at them. The Superman right here looks really evil, really evil. The way he's got his head tilted down, like he's judging all of us. He's too good to be amongst us. Then we have a Steve Lieber, Carnage, and Jimmy Olsen. Steve Lieber worked on the Jimmy Olsen miniseries that Matt Fraction wrote. A real hilarious miniseries featuring Jimmy's adventures in the DC Universe. We have Oliver Coipel right here, in kind of a very classic Superman and Spider-Man look. You've got Spider-Man has his clothes and his web backpack. Then we have Jorge Jimenez, I believe. Jorge Jimenez, I believe, doing a very, very solid portrayal of Superman and Spider-Man right there. Then we have Jim Lee, classic Jim Lee, Superman pose right there. And the Jim Lee Spider-Man pose that went kind of viral based upon the really crazy Ditko looking hands. So I know Jim Lee himself was kind of poking fun at that hand right there. That kind of went viral. He was poking fun at his own screw up, so to speak. And then we have, not sure who this one is, but we've kind of got really good pose of them in action. Superman and Spider-Man, both of them on their way somewhere. Then I believe this is the Jorge Jimenez cover right here. Over a fire. So you got a really awesome looking double spread cover right here. What looks like them converging on a fire to rescue people or put it out. So I guess that means that this one here is the Dan Moore. This must be the Dan Moore Superman Spider-Man one. This one's probably the A cover out of all of them, if you would have to say. Then we got a fun Spider-Ham crypto cover right here. Then we have Spider-Punk, and then Con-El, I believe that's his name. Connor Kent, Superboy right here. This will always be my Superboy. You know, this is the one that was very popular when I was when he was first introduced. This is like the exact same look that Superboy had when he was introduced during the reign of Superman, post-death of Superman. One of my favorite characters and one of my favorite books. Now we have this one here. This is a homage to the original Superman Spider-Man crossover that Neal Adams worked on, I believe. Was it Neal Adams who worked on that, or Ross Andru? Somebody, I can't remember who it was, but this is a homage to the original cover. And you see right here, it says Sandoval after Carmine and Ross. So that must be homaging the cover. I thought that was, it says after Carmine and Ross Andru and Carmine Infantino. That's who that's homaging right there. Don't know where I got Neal Adams from. And then we have, last but not least, we have Power Girl and Black Cat right here. Just a really cool picture. You've got Power Girl flexing, and then you've got Black Cat right here looking very mysterious and looks like she is really kind of showing off her agility. So very cool cover right here. All of them are really cool. Like I said, it's been a long time since we had Marvel and DC crossovers. Now they seem to have opened the floodgates on us. This is the DC part of the Superman, Spider-Man crossovers. The Marvel ones will be coming out, I think, sometime in the next 2 months or something like that. So we'll be having even more crossovers. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about all these copies I bought. Definitely overdid it, but you know, whatever. See, look at this. This one is $8.99. $8.99. $8.99. So it looks like they're all $8.99. Looks like they're all $8.99. I want to say the first one was $6.99 or $5.99. So that price increase, like I said, is sneaking up already. It's totally believable the next round ones are going to be $10 each. At which point I'm going to have to really consider which ones I want to get instead of just picking up all of them. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good day, and bye-bye.